What's going on, y'all? And today we'll be doing a guide for the Legends in TFT Set 9. And the goal of this guide is to help you line up your playstyle with certain legends that you want to choose, whether you're like someone who likes to play really aggressive early, someone who likes to, lose streak early, play for a mid-game comp, or, you want to do the Soju special, go level 9, roll 50 gold, don't hit anything, and die. Then I got you. I'll help you set up with your legends. And to a lesser degree, we'll talk about the strengths of the legends. One last thing before we get into it that I just want to say, if you're kind of don't understand legends very well, you don't have to take the augments, and they're just to help you embolden your playstyle. But I regularly don't take the augments that are offered with my legend. I'll take something else if something else better is offered. So I just wanted to say that. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So the first one we're going to look at, and one last thing. I'm only going to be talking about 2-1 augments for the vast majority of these legends. A few of them I might talk about, some of these down here. It's just to keep it simple. The 2-1 augments are the most impactful for your legend choice. I find often the second and third augment choice for a lot of the legends are pretty you would only take them if your other augments are bad for your board. So to keep it simple, we're going to talk about the 2-1. And first up, we have Ezreal. Now, Ezreal, as it says right here, become high level and play for awesome units. So this is going to be if you like to play a little bit of a weaker early game style. You like to go, play for level 9, play for level 10. This is going to be your guy for the most part. It's going to help you in that play style. Now, one thing I will say, cutting corners is more, I would consider this to be more of an early game augment, despite it Ezreal being kind of late game-esque. I would consider it being more early game because the minus 3 XP less per level is way more impactful earlier on in the game. So you don't have to double pump to pre-level to level 5 before the first carousel. So this actually gives you a little bit of early game power, but I don't think it's very good. So take Ezreal if you guys want to play for late game, do the Soju special, that sort of thing. Boom, bam, boom, Bob's your uncle. All right, now we're here on to Bard the Traveler. Gain even more power when you level up. So as you can see right here, we have Caretaker's Ally. When you reach level 6, gain a 2-star tier 3 unit, level 6. Think about that. Caretaker's Favor, when you reach level 6, gain 3 random components. Then when you reach level 8, gain 2 more random components. And then the last one, Caretaker's Chosen, when you reach level 5, open an armory and choose one of 5 unique radiant items. At level 9, gain this effect again and gain an item remover. Now, the first two are going to be the more common ones, and I think it's best to choose Bard if you are comfortable playing a weak early game and are comfortable spiking on stage 3. So if you're someone who really likes rolling for 2 and 3 cross comps and you feel really good about building stage 3 comps, I think this one is pretty good for you. Other than that, the Caretaker's Chosen, I think it's just overall pretty solid augment, and you could take this to, you're going to spike on stage 2 on 2-5. You can spike on 2-5 and kind of try to ride that out to a level 9 to get this, but a little bit risky right here. So I think Bard is best chosen if you like to play for mid-game comps, whether that's your rerolling 2 and 3 costs, or you just like playing that style where you really spike really hard on stage 3, stage 4, then Bard can be your guy. Now, Caitlyn, get strong units at the start of the game. I'm going to have to do a little bit more testing with Caitlyn because I'm an aggressive Andy. I play for early game, and so let's read into this a little bit. So 1, 2, 3s, gain 1 tier 1 unit, 2 tier 2 units, and 1 tier 3 unit is the silver. At gold, we have Stars Are Born. The first tier 1 champion and tier 2 champion you buy are upgraded to 2 stars. That's a lot of early game power, baby. And then starter kit, read this one. Gain a tier 4 champion, a component they can use, and a 2-star tier 1 champion that shares the trait with them. At the next stages, so when you go up to 3, so you're starting on stage 2, when you get to 3-1, gain the tier 4 champion again. So it gets you very close to having a 2-star tier 4. You're playing with fire a little bit because it's going to set you up for some very clear direction in the early game. And if you're going to, if you don't hit, it's going to feel a little weird. But so this one is if you want a lot of early power, especially these first two. If you want a lot of early power and you like playing that way, then Caitlyn can be your girl. Now the prismatic one is a little bit more risque. You're gonna have some power, but keep in mind the opportunity cost of taking a prismatic. So this sounds really powerful, right? But remember the opportunity cost. Someone else could have something equally as powerful that also spikes early on in the game. So just keep that in mind whenever you're taking this. This mainly for early game power, and this one's a little bit more of a gamble than go for here. But if you're an aggressive Andy, Caitlyn can be your girl. I got to do some more testing with Caitlyn because I like to play aggressive, but I've been mainly testing Draven and Ezreal, but I will be testing some Caitlyn over the next few days. We'll check that out. Okay, Draven. I don't like Draven. And I'm an aggressive player. I don't like Draven, but let's read and I'll explain why. So when you kill an enemy, Spoils of War, so it's all the same augment. When you kill an enemy, 20% chance to drop a loot. At 2, it's 30% drop a loot. And then at 3, it's 40% chance to drop amazing loot, meaning that you can get item components, maybe anvils, that sort of thing, maybe some emblems, that sort of thing. I believe you can get components on the other 2, but I just haven't been getting them. I almost only get gold. So yeah. So the problem I have with Draven's augment is you need to be able to be strong when you take this augment, right? Because you need to kill enemy units in order to gain loot. But think about the opportunity cost of you're taking an augment that you need to be strong in order to get the payoff. Are you with me? To get the payoff, but you don't have a combat augment. You see what I mean? So it's kind of weird. So I think this augment is really good if you're below diamond and nobody knows how to play strong early games. And so if you like to play strong early game and you're like low diamond or below diamond, I think this can be a good augment to take even if you're an aggressive Andy and want to play really aggressive for early game. Other than that, like if you're diamond plus, I just don't think these augments are very good because again, you have to be strong, but yeah, I don't like it. But let's look at a couple more of his because, you know, I want to be fair to Draven. But I just don't like Draven, man. Start a combat, gain 4 gold. Next, you know, I'm not super into these. And then they're rolling for days. I'm not super into Draven stuff, man. It's just about getting more gold, getting big payouts. But yeah, I think if you're smurfing or if you're playing in below diamond, this can be good if you like to play aggressive in the early game. All right, next up is Ezreal. And Ezreal is my guy. Ezreal is my favorite legend because I love having extra items. I love just slamming items. I love like because there's 2 reasons why slamming items is so great. It just fits with my playstyle because there's 2 ways you can play with slamming a lot of items. The 2 ways you can play is you slam a lot of items and that gives you direction. So like you get a Rage Blade, you know, you get a Rage Blade, Death Blade. Okay, I'm probably going to play like a Felios or Zeri or something like that. So I have clear direction. I know what I'm going to try to build for when I'm on my stage 4 roll down, when I'm going. I have clear direction in the game and that's really nice. Now the flip side of that, if I slam a bunch of super flexible items, like maybe I just slam some tank items and I'd worry about getting my carry items later, then I can play full flex. So either way, I get to be really strong in the early game, and I can play those 2 pathways. So if you like to be strong in the early game, take Ezreal. That's the point. And if you like to have clear direction, then you know wait to slam items that give you clear direction, like a Rage Blade, Death Blade. I'm playing Zeri, Aphelios, right? Or if you like to play full flex but also be strong, then you just insta slam your items. You know, I'm slamming some tank items and a Rage Blade. I can play whatever I want in the game, and I'm super strong. I have a 3-item tank, man. What's going on? That's very powerful in the early game. So as we see here, it's just the same augment, buried treasures. So gain a random component at the start of the next 2 rounds, next 3 rounds, next 5 rounds. So it's just 2 components, 3 components, 5 components, and there you go. And down here, it's just more items. And something I like about Ezreal's additional augments, and I'm going into these because I play a lot of Ezreal, so I have a lot of insight here, is, you know, I will look to play not these augments. Usually I'll try to play something else. But there's something really nice on 3-2 about just getting 2 components and 12 gold. Like just getting the 12 gold feels really nice. That's what feels really nice to me. And I get a completed item and 12 gold. What's not to love about that? So I really like the gold tier on this one. And I like the silver tier. I don't always take the prismatic one is a little sussy, but you do get a lesser duplicator, so you can spike a little bit there. But you know, you're down a prismatic, a little sussy. You know what I'm saying? And then down here, well-earned comfort. I don't often take this. I just find that I can usually get something better. I only take that if I have to. Okay. Next up is our boy Elise. Refresh your shop for perfect units. So take Ezreal if you like to play aggressive, guys. Lee's a little weird, right? It's refresh your shop for perfect units. So let's just talk about his augments, and I'll talk about what kind of playstyle it kind of fits into. So on a roll, whenever you start up a champion, gain a free shop refresh. So I think this is really good if you're rerolling. Or you can kind of play aggressive with this. Like, it's kind of both ways, but I think it's better if you're rerolling because you're going to be two-starring a lot of units and get your free shop refresh. So if you want to reroll 1 and 2 costs, I think this is really good. So if you like doing that, take Elise in. If you like rerolling. But the problem I have with saying if you like rerolling, take Elise in is I do not think Trade Sector is good in reroll comps. And now, stay with me for a second if that confused you, because I know it seems counterintuitive, but I think a lot of high elo players would agree with me. This has kind of been a thing that a lot of us have known about for a long time. Gain a free shop refresh each round. So if you want to play a 1 and 2 cost reroll build, the problem with taking Trade Sector is when you want to play those types of builds, you usually want to lose early and prioritize econ. But if you get these free shop refreshes, you'll end up holding a lot of gold on your bench. So what if you're playing like reroll Cassiopeia and Renekton, something like that, right? And then you end up hitting a lot of Cassios and Renektons, but you don't actually 3-star them. You end up hitting a lot of them. You just tank your econ and you're still not strong. So that's one reason why I really don't like taking Trade Sector in 1 and 2 cost reroll comps, despite a lot of people thinking it's good. I think it's the biggest bait in the world, and I have a lot of experience playing 1 and 2 cost reroll comps in the past when Trade Sector came out. I've done a lot of testing with it, and I do not like it. Whenever the Pugmaw build was out, or the Pogmaw build, I played like hundreds of games of that build, and every time I took Trade Sector, is the biggest bait in the world. So yeah. Now, shopping spree, I've never taken this one. Gain 1 gold per round, so additional gold. When you level up, gain a number of free shop refreshes equal to your level, which carry over between rounds. So this is going to be really good if you're pushing levels and playing aggressive. So that's why I feel like Lee Sin's in a weird spot, because I think On a Roll is really good if you're rerolling, and I think Trade Sector and Shopping Spree are much better if you like to push levels. So if you're comfortable playing both styles, I think you can take that, and if you just like pressing the D key, then take that. Let me see if I can throw Lee Sin a bone here, because I just don't like these augments. I don't like those augments very much, or I just don't like, they don't link together like for a cohesive playstyle. So training reward, gain 5 gold and a lesser champion duplicator. So this is going to be another one to help you play aggressive. This is another one to help you play aggressive. Well, this one with the 13 gold, since the gold is additional, you could econ. So that's what I mean. Lee Sin's just like, his stuff just does not match up, right? It's just like some of them you want to play aggressive. Some of them it seems like you kind of want to reroll. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just in the next 4 turns, gain 22 gold again. Wow, that's a lot of gold. I don't like Lee Sin, guys. I think he's weird. Okay, Master Yi. Master Yi is another one that's a little bit weird. I think Master Yi can be really good if you like rerolling, because your units gain, just read it. Your units gain attack speed each round. This increases. So if you're going to keep the same units on your board, this can be very good. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to reroll, because you could just use this if you have a stable board, like you're carrying like a Jhin, and you're going to go fast 8 with Jhin. Well, Jin's going to be very powerful. Then you go fast 8, you roll for your new board, and then like you roll for an Aphelios board, and then now you have Aphelios for the next 10 rounds of the game. By the time you get to the end of that, he'll have a lot of power, but that's why I just don't really like this augment. It's just kind of like the power creep is weird, or the power curve is really weird. So that's why I personally don't really like Master Yi that much, but maybe some other people like it. I think his tier 2 augment's not that, or his second augment's not that bad. I mean, it's just good stats, right? So just some good stats. So Master Yi just gives you a lot of stats. So if you like taking full combat augments, maybe take Master Yi. I just find that instead of taking combat augments, I just like playing Ezreal, because I just like having more items. I feel like I have more control over my game and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to throw Master Yi another bone, but I'm just, again, guys, I'm just not a big fan. Your units generate 25% more mana and move 40% faster. I mean, yeah, that could definitely be good. So if you like taking full combat, maybe give Master Yi a try. But personally, I'm a little underwhelmed by his augments, and I would rather just have Ezreal's augments. I'd rather have more items. So there we go. All right, Big Daddy Oren, gain the power of Oren's creation. So let's read it. Latent Forge, gain an Oren item and Anvil. Gain an Oren item Anvil after 7 combat rounds. So you don't get the immediate power, so you're going to have to play a little bit of weaker early game sometimes. So if you take this. Portable Forge, we all know about Portable Forge. Open up an armory and choose 1 of 3 of Oren's artifacts. And then Living Forge is the same one from an old set. Gain an Oren artifact now and after 10 player combat. So if you just really like playing with Oren items, and I know they're super fun, then take them. And Oren can give you a lot of power. Now, the Prismatic one is like a little early power and then combat with some late power. So really, this one is if you just like playing Oren. If you like playing Oren items, then take it. I think there's some better options for like if you want to index really hard into early game strength. I think there's just some better options like taking like taking Ezreal or taking one of the other ones that we talked about with the early option, like Caitlyn, something like that. I think there's just some better options. But if you just really like playing Oren, and I love playing Oren, and you want Oren's items, and you feel like you can play really well around it, then take Oren, man. Oren's pretty good. Let's see what else he's got going on a little bit. Gain a completed anvil, gain an Oren anvil again. So you could potentially have 3 Oren items, which is pretty cool. What about his tier 3? I've never played Oren's tier 3. Gain an Oren item anvil and a completed item anvil. So it's just another. You could potentially, if you played Oren, have like 5 Oren items. So again, I think Oren can be decent. If you like playing Oren items, play Oren, man. I think it can be decent for sure. Okay. This is for beginners. Play it safe, the Pingu. So this can give you Tiny Titans. So if you are, if you're just learning the game and you kind of want to play like a little bitch, then maybe take the Pingu, right? So you can take Tiny Titans. You gain the 30 health. I don't like Tiny Titans as a first augment personally, so I just don't think it's that good. Metabolic Accelerator. Your units move faster and heal 2 per round. We all know about that. And then Tiniest Titan, your tactician is small and speedy, heals 2 per round, heals 2 after every PvP round, and then grants 2 gold per round. So this one's a little sussy because you gain a little bit of like potential late game power, right? But you're down a prismatic, so just be considerate that you're down a prismatic. So just think about that. So this one is for beginners. If you're an experienced player and you're grinding, I would not take this. I would not take this that often, unless just like Metabolic Accelerator is just super meta that patch, or if like the game is really flex, so Tiny Titans is actually like good and you can like build tank items, and there's not like items like Rage Blade that you kind of need in most builds, which is kind of how it feels like on PvE right now. So if we're in a meta situation where you can just slam take items and that's fine, and like items aren't as important to the game, then I think this can be good for a higher skilled player. But overall, I just think this is the beginner one, as they have suggested. You get extra items here, which is cool. You get another grab bag, which is cool. So I think it's good for learning the game. All right, Sir Thomas Kincherith. Sir Thomas Kinch is really good. A lot of people really like Thomas Kinch. I think Soju really likes this one. He likes to play more for late game. Likes to play more. He's more of an econ Andy instead of playing aggressivo. So if you like to play more of that econ style, try to build the strongest boards you can in the end game, then Thomas Kinch is going to be great for that. AFK is one of the best augments ever made in TFT. It's so good. So if you like playing weak early game, spike for late game, play Sir Thomas Kinch. We got Rich Get Richer, and we got Hedge Fund, which again, like gain 16 gold, your maximum interest is increased to 10. That's pretty good, guys. You can hold over 100 gold. It used to be uncapped, and it was ridiculous. So if you like to if you're comfortable playing a really weak early game, you want to pull out the Soju special, then here we go. There you go. This is your guy. But that's not how I play. But he seems to be the best for that style. He seems to be a little bit better than Asol for that style. Now, Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate gives you Pandora's items. So this is where you get to, your items can be randomized on your bench. And then the Pandora's Box 3, which is well, it's actually just called Pandora's Box, but Pandora's Box, you gain a random Radiant item. Round start items on your bench are randomized, of course, the same thing, but you get a Radiant item, so you actually get some immediate power, and you can keep rolling it if you like, if you don't like the power. So I think TF is best if you are. It's best for 2 type of styles. If you're a one trick, because one trick comps typically need guaranteed items. If you're a one trick, like let's say you're one tricking like reroll Juggernauts and you want to have the 6 Zeke's Garen Legendary Dream, then this can be very good for it. You can always get Zeke's, right? And you can do the 6 Zeke's Juggernaut frontline, which is insane. It's really, really fun. It's really cool. So if you're like a one trick, this can be very good for that style, because you're guaranteed to get your items. You don't have to worry about it. Boom, bam, boom. You got it. It can also be good if you are playing full flex and you just want to insta-slam your items for instant power, and then late game you just roll for all the units, play what you hit, and then refresh your items. So you can play that style. So both of those styles, if you like to just kind of play open flex, play aggressive, or if you're playing a one-trick style, it can be very good. I'm not going to talk about the rest of his because I just think they're good. And again, look, more Zeke's down here. So if you want to play that Garen build, more Zeke's. TF's pretty cool. We like TF. I need to give TF some more tries. I've been playing a lot of Ezreal though. I need to give TF and Caitlyn some more work because they definitely fit a little bit more into my play style there. Okay, Earth is the Emblem Collector. So gain a Reforger, gain a random emblem and a Reforger, gain a Tome of Traits and 2 gold, and then gain 2 Tome of Traits and 3 gold. So if you guys really like playing vertical comps, if you don't know what I mean by vertical, it's when you're playing like, you start with 2 Shadow Isles and you end the game with 6 Shadow Isles. So you just played more Shadow Isles, right? I think this is really good for, well, vertical comps are really good for beginners. So if you are comfortable playing vertical comps and that's like how you like to play, then this can be very good for you. On the flip side, you can get really dizzy when you have too many emblems. If you try to flex too many things, I personally do not like having emblems. For me, myself, I feel like I'm very good at making strong boards. I'm really good at making strong boards, but when I start getting too many emblems, it's just like, oh God. So, if that's you, if you get stressed out when you have too many emblems and you can't focus, don't take this one. But if you like playing verticals, or if you are comfortable playing with a lot of emblems and trying out some wacky stuff, then take the Earth guy. Let's see if we can get him another bone here. I think he does some good stuff though. Gain 2 components. Yeah, these are fine. Oh, these are the ones. This is the Ezreal ones. Kind of very similar to the Ezreal ones. And final grab bag. Yeah, these are fine. More important is to think about this stuff. So if you like playing a lot of Tome of Traits, take this guy. Or if you like playing verticals, then you can potentially take this guy. But you got to be careful with that stuff because you can get some stuff offered that you don't want. Okay, and Vigor. So Vigor has Jeweled Lotus, which allows your magic spells to crit. So I think Vigor is really good to play if we're in an AP meta. Because Jeweled Lotus is definitely better with AP units because you don't have to build Jeweled Gauntlet if you don't want to. You can build a Hodge to get healing, and you don't have to build Jeweled Gauntlet, and that can increase your crit scaling, which is nice. So if you like playing AP or if we're in an AP meta, then a Vigor can be pretty good. I do not like Jeweled Lotus because, again, I like to be strong early on in the game, and I don't think this gives you a lot of power unless you already have, like, AP items. So if you have, like, a Deathcap Hodge on your early game carry and you get Jeweled Lotus 2 or 3, then, yeah, that can be very powerful, and you're playing, like, a full AP comp. That can be good. But most of the time, I just feel like it's really underwhelming until late game, so that's why I personally don't like it. But if you're going to one-trick AP, then, yeah, it can be good, or for an AP meta. And then I do want to throw a bone to talk about some Ascension, because Ascension is really good late game. So if you guys really like taking Ascension, we're in a stall meta, or we're in a meta where the game kind of plays out a little bit slower, then Vigor can be super good, because even if you don't want Jeweled Lotus in this stuff, you just, hey, I don't want that. I just want guaranteed Ascension every game, because we're in an Ascension meta. Then Vigor can be very good. So if we go into a slow meta, you can definitely expect a lot of people to be playing Vigor just because of this. I mean, I can already see it coming. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. And I usually like slow metas, but then everybody will take Ascension, and if you don't take Ascension, you're fucked. Okay, now up to Vlad. I don't like this. Now, I seen Bebe said this is Bebe's favorite legend. I don't know why, though. I'll try to figure out why. But I don't like Vlad. I think he sucks, except for that he has Ascension. I think Ascension is really good, like we just talked about, for the same reasons why I talked about for Vigor it being good. I don't like it, though. But other than that, Transfusion, let's just read it. Your units gain 60 health plus 2 health per missing Tactician health. So this will scale throughout the game, but I just personally don't like it. It doesn't give you a lot of power immediately, and I just feel like the power late game is just not that big. Like, let's say you're missing 90 health, 6 health per missing Tactician. I'm doing math on stream. But, that's 540 health, right? So that's 540 health plus the top. That is a lot of health, but I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't do anything that well. That's why I personally don't like it. But let's try to throw him some bones. I think Battle Ready can be good. It's just decent stats. I just think you can get better stats elsewhere. And it's just kind of one of those ones, again, where if you don't know what to take, or if you don't have good augments, this can be a solid augment that you can take, right? But I just think other things are a little bit better. But we have the guaranteed Ascension, which is super, super nice. We love Ascension. And guys, that's it. That's the last one. Because Poro is no tailoring. Why would you want to take Poro, guys? So kind of talking about strength levels a little bit. I kind of went through them when I talked about it. I really like Ezreal. I think Ezreal's really good. If you're playing aggressive, Ezreal is great. Caitlyn's great for aggressive. I think Draven sucks, personally. Bard is if you want to play some mid game. If you want to really spike for mid game, play around 2 and 3 cross comps. I think he can be really good in that role, but also fulfill some other stuff. Asol is really good if you'd like to go level 10. You like to pull out a Soju special. I just think there's some. I think Tom is just a little bit better at the Soju special. Lee Sin. I think Lee Sin is really weird. He has a really weird spot. I think it's not very cohesive. His setup is not super cohesive. Master Yi, I think is good if you're rerolling. I think it's good to give you, you only get offered combat augments, so that's cool if you like playing around a lot of combat augments. But I don't know. He just feels a little underwhelming to me. Oren, if you love playing around Oren items, which is super, super fun. Pingu, if you're a beginner or if we're in a meta where you can slam tank items and items aren't that important, then Pingu can be pretty good. Thomas Kinch, if you like the Soju special, I think this is the best one for it. TF, if you're a one trick or you want to play full open flex, so you get the, you can guarantee your items. Earth dude, if you're really good at playing with emblems and you like trying wacky stuff, or you like playing verticals, like you're a beginner player, or you just really like playing verticals, take this guy. Vigor, if we're in an AP meta, or you just want the guaranteed ascension. And again, Vlad, if you want the guaranteed ascension. And again, I'm just not too sure about this transfusion augment. I don't like it, but I've seen Bebe said he really loves Vlad, so we'll see. But anyways, that's it, guys. I hope I helped you out. Hope you learned a lot. And if you enjoyed it, man, consider subscribing. And hey, come to my Twitch. Guys, I need more viewers on Twitch, man. No one watches my streams. I would love to have more people at my stream. I stream all the time. And I would love to see you there. But I'm done begging. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, and appreciate you guys. See ya.